Yeah, no, early on when I was sort of getting to know you, I think you blew my mind with one example. And you can correct me if I'm getting the details of the story wrong or the material wrong. But from what I remember, it was like oyster shells or like
Yeah.
um and I swear I use that as a teaching tool to others about like the unknown value of materials and how there's so much value in visibility of materials. Can you brief people on like what I'm talking about with the oyster shells?
Yeah. So I have a personality trait, maybe a personality disorder of not being able to like go gently into learning about new things. And the oyster shells, that was an interesting one. So early on, one of the first projects I ran was with the city of Austin called the Austin Materials Marketplace, a program for businesses in the city to find new uses for materials that they were being challenged by. And we were working with a company in Austin, Quality Seafood, for those from Austin, Texas. It's a iconic institution, a great restaurant, and they're one of the biggest oyster distributors in the city of Austin. They service a lot of restaurants in the city with fresh oysters. A lot of that coming up from the Gulf of Mexico. And when the city of Austin rolled out the new ordinance at the time around diverting organics from landfill, those oyster shells were a really big problem for quality. So yeah, I became a little bit of an expert in oyster shells, and we explored a lot of kind of conventional and a whole lot of unconventional uses for those shells. Some of the stuff we explored, oysters are a really great feed supplement for chickens. I have backyard chickens, and I buy crushed oyster shells that they eat. We looked at some really creative landscaping applications for them. I did a pilot project with a local farm where I loaded up like as many boxes of oyster shells as could fit in the back of my tiny pickup truck at the time, and trucked them out to a local farm. We used them in a couple of landscaping projects. They looked really cool. We had a couple folks that used them to fill potholes. And kind of as that road-based material, and they work really well because they don't slide around or move around too much. So yeah, we went down the rabbit hole and finding new uses for this stuff, and lined up a couple of cool options.